Hello, my friend.
All right, y'all. Welcome to Birmingham training. We're so glad that y'all are here. My name is Michelle Leach. I know most of you, but if I don't know you, please come and introduce yourself to me. We're going to begin with a quick prayer. So if y'all bow with me real quick, then we're going to say a prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for this night. Thank you for this group of ladies, and thank you for Premier. Thank you that you have placed it in Joan and Andy's heart to start a company that would be all about serving people and serving you. So we just thank you so much for that and ask that you would be with us tonight. God, as we learn and hear from different people, God, just to know what to do in our businesses, but more importantly, Father, just to be present here in our hearts so that we can know how to best love and serve you. We love you, and it's in your name I pray. Amen. All right. We are going to do some recognition, and y'all have these clappers, so I want to see y'all use them. Are y'all happy to be here tonight? Okay, y'all can do better than that. Okay, I want everyone to stand up if you love Premier. Everyone stand up. Okay. We are gonna. This is all for the December accounting period. Okay, so I know that was a long time ago, but that's what we're talking about. So, stand up if you keep standing if you did one show in December. All right, stand up if you did 2 shows. All right.
Yeah.
3, 4. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. Okay, she's coming with the ticket. Oh. All right, stand up if you had one show that was $100. Everybody that had a show. Okay, stand up if it was 200, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Awesome, 993. Awesome. Beat that? Anybody beat that? 903? I think 903.
Only one.
Tiffany?
Tiffany?
Yeah. Woo! Okay, stand up if your total retail for the whole month of December was at least $100. $500. $1,000. Total retail, $1,500. $2,000. $2,200. $2,500. $2,600. How much was yours? $3,082. All right, stand up if you sponsored someone in December. All right, if you are a new jeweler in the house, I need you to stand up. Come on, girl. All right, y'all come up here. Come up here real quick. We want to introduce y'all.
It's the worst thing you've ever done.
Okay, so we're going to introduce the new jewelers. They're going to tell us their name, who their Premier Mama is, and what excites them most about Premier. So we're going to start right here.
I'm Sam Sellers, and my Premier Mom is Danielle. And I'm really just super terrified, but I did get my little box today, and I opened all the jewelry like it was Christmas, so right now it's all pretty joy.
Y'all welcome Sam.
Okay, I'm Claire Maynard, and my Premier Mom is Megan Mullins. She's in Texas now, so this is Danielle. And what excites me the most is just the mission and the ministry that I get to share with the women that I come in contact with.
Okay.
And most fun thing for me is the parties.
Yay!
I'm Teresa Oldham, and my premier mom is Jenny Nicholas. And through the years, I homeschooled my kids, so I've sold everything. And so I got invited to a party, and I've never heard of a company that you could make almost half the profit of what you sell. I mean, it was incredible, and I think it's a great opportunity to reach women also. So that's it.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much, ladies. You can have a seat. We're so excited that you joined the family. We love new jewelers. All right, I want to talk to you a little bit real quick. How many of you got to go to Rally last Saturday? Okay. Do y'all know about everybody else, do y'all know about the consistency challenge that's going on?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Well, I'm going to go over it real quick with you because this is awesome. I have never seen, Premier always does amazing things, but this is really amazing. So they are going to reward consistency, which consistency in Premier is about 4 or 5 shows a month. So it really breaks down to 1 show a week, maybe 2 1 week. And that's really doable. That can be really doable, even for someone that has a full-time job, I feel like. So now the consistency challenge is if you hold 30 shows from December 27th to June 30th and attend National Rally, you'll receive a necklace inspired by one of Joan's favorite stories in her book, Gems for Joan. And the necklace, you'll have to see it online. You should have got an email about it. The necklace is 2 little shovels, and you'll have to go back and read the story. It's so sweet. It's a really sweet story. And on top of that, if you go to Rally and you've done this, you get an invite to a reception at National Rally hosted by Tim and Peggy Horner. And so that's a huge honor. So 30 shows, that doesn't mean that they have to be, 5 shows a month or whatever, but if you did, maybe 1 month where you had 8 shows and 1 month where you did 3 or something like that, you could do that too. As long as it totaled 30 shows. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, now the other part of the consistency challenge is really, really awesome. If you have 5 shows per month for 3 of the 6 months, before Rally, so we have January through to June. If you do 5 shows a month, for 3 of the 6 months, you get a quarter line of jewelry. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. And you can go and you can pick it up at National Rally, but you don't necessarily have to go to National Rally to get it. Although I do strongly recommend each and every one of you can go to National Rally. And then if you hold 5 shows per month for 6 months, you get the half line of jewelry. Isn't that awesome? And then if you have 5 shows a month and you sponsor 7 people from last rally to this rally, that means you get the full line of jewelry. Isn't that awesome? Really generous of Premier, I must say, which I'm not surprised. There is the only thing with the consistency challenge with the 5 shows a month thing is that it has to be a show. So like the catalog shows, the individual orders and things like that don't count. And the retail total has to be $2,000. So that might mean that you have to do maybe like a little bit more than 5 shows on some months. It may mean that you only do 4 shows, but you need 1 more to make it for the 5 shows. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. To get the $2,000 retail. Okay, so do y'all have any questions about the consistency challenge? Did I explain it right?
You did great.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So next on the agenda is to do some little bit of calendar catch up. So this is training. We have training once a month. Training is not mandatory, but I think it is strongly recommended because it is a way that we can be encouraged and motivated in our own businesses and also just spiritually enriched and love on each other. And you may be in a time in your business where you're struggling. And so that, in your mind, you're like, why do I even need to go to training? Because I'm having a hard time anyway. Well, that's a perfect reason for you to come to training. Because that means you can have people surround you and you can ask questions and you can get help. Vice versa, if you're someone that's like, oh, I'm doing amazing in my business, I don't need training, well then there's people that need to hear from you. Does that make sense? So we all can help each other, we all can learn from each other, and training is an important way to do that. So the next training that we're having is in February. It's February 16th, and you want to write this down. Who in the room has their calendar? Raise your hand if you have your calendar. Because you're going to get a ticket if you have a calendar. Awesome. Good job. Okay. In February, we're having a guy come and talk to us about taxes. Okay? So you definitely want to make plans to be here. And make sure you bring your significant others, too, because they'll be able to help you figure all that out too, because if you're anything like me, I don't know, everything sounds so foreign to me when it comes to taxes, so I'm definitely bringing Buster to come and help with that, or help listen, be another ear for me. And then in March is another big training we're having. Bob Bolander is coming to speak, and so that's a really big deal. And he's, tell me, what is his title again?
Vice President.
Vice President of Marketing.
Yeah, he's the Vice President of Marketing, and he's what you get a lot of emails from him, and you see him at rallies, you see him on videos on the website, and he's coming to speak to us in March. So make sure you make plans to come. That's March 16th. Okay?
And real quick, we will probably do a leadership dinner for jewelers in March to get to spend some intimate time with Bob. So if you're a builder and up, you get to come to that. So sponsor 4 people really quick, and you can have dinner with Bob, okay?
Awesome. Okay, so that's about training. The next thing we're going to talk about is Fun to Share. Who in here has been to a Fun to Share or was brought to a Fun to Share at one point? Awesome. Okay. Fun to Share is a really great opportunity. It is actually for you because it's a great way for you to bring guests in who can come and hear about the business opportunity, but more than that, just to be encouraged and to have a meal together. And so it's really fun. It's not just that, you sit in a conference or anything. It's just we're sitting around a table hanging out, and it's so neat to do that. So make sure you come. The only thing to be able to come, you need to bring a guest. So bring your neighbor, bring your best friend. They don't necessarily have to be interested in Premier. You never want to judge anyone, whether they're going to do Premier or not, because you never know what their needs are. But if they come and hear about it, maybe something will click in their, in their hearts and their minds. You know what? I have somebody that would be great at this, and so just hearing about it, I feel like just plant so many seeds. So it's a great opportunity for y'all. And the next Fun to Share we're having is at Danielle's house. It's at 6:30, and it's next Monday night on January 26th. So I hope y'all all can come. Okay? And then new jeweler training. We just had a new jeweler training part 2 on this past Saturday. We try to have them every other month. So these are for new jewelers after you've had your training show, okay? And it's from 9 to 1, and it's a one-time training. Unless you sponsor someone, then you'll want to come with your Premier daughter to that. And the next one is March 14th. So make sure you write that down. Even if you have already been to a new jeweler training, you may sponsor someone, so go ahead and write it down because you'll have to come to that with your new jeweler. So that's going to be on Saturday, March 14th. And then the next thing is Girls Night, and this is just for fun, for fellowship. This is not mandatory, but it is so much fun. The ones that we've had so far, we try to do some kind of craft. And then on the one on February 9th, we're going to do kind of the sips and strokes kind of theme where we have a painting. We do a painting together, and we have steps, and I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be good. And we'll have like coffee and snacks and stuff like that. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Just a chance for us to get to know each other better and just have, fellowship with each other. Other events that you might want to jot down, March 7th is Joy of Leadership. So this is for anyone, this is a conference for anyone who has sponsored one jeweler or more, which is several of you in the room. And in Birmingham, it's in Birmingham, and you register on Premier's site. It's $30 for the day, and lunch is included. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So you'll want to make sure you get to come to that. The next thing on the event is Jewel School. It's in April 25th in Gainesville, and so that's just kind of like, I don't know how you, is it? I've never been, so it's kind of hard for me to explain. I need to go.
Yes, she does need to go. Hopefully in April she'll make it. Yes.
Yeah, come stay at my house.
Except she's 2 hours from middle school, so.
But it's better than
Closer than here.
Yes, this is true. Gainesville's about a 7-hour drive from here. It's really not that bad. We make the drive quite often because we have a big down line in Gainesville, and we want to go down and see them. Just like when we move to Jacksonville, we're going to come back here because we're going to want to see all of y'all, right? So we make efforts to go visit all of our Gainesville people, and we will make efforts once we move to come back and visit all of our Birmingham people too. But it's a really neat event. It just started out in someone's living room. We decided, hey, you know what, why don't we get our group of girls together and just do some more specific training. And we would do it on a Saturday, and we would have breakfast, and it was a lot of fun. And now it's evolved kind of into what you would hear from the home office call a roundup. And so it's an all-day event, and we invite people from all over Florida. Come in October, we had about 160 people at Jewel School, and so it's kind of like a mini rally, mini regional rally, except somebody told me it was better than
It
that.
was so much better. I wasn't supposed to say that. Sorry.
So yeah, we have a lot of fun, and we always grab one of the top name speakers to come and speak to us. And so this April we have we have Gayla Unger coming, and she's from California. She is amazing. She's actually the premier princess this year. If you've not been to a national rally, that means nothing to you, but it's a big deal in just premier world. And so she's coming all the way from California to talk to us in Florida, and it's going to be an amazing event. So I encourage you to grab some girls and road trip it up. It's a lot of fun. You could just, you probably just want to stay in a hotel the night before. You could just drive straight on home. It ends at 4 o'clock. If you wanted to drive 7 hours back to Birmingham, you could. But typically afterwards, we have a meal at Lacey's house, and we just hang out. And so, we would love for y'all to come to that. And we do it every April and every October. So it's always the same, and you'll always know when it's happening. Okay? And we're hoping in October we can get the Drapers to come. So that would be really cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Danielle.
Yes.
The next things on there are the designer trips to Quebec and Vancouver. You get to choose if you're a designer for that, so that's really exciting. And then July 9th through 11th is National Rally, so you definitely want to make plans to go to that. And then September 8th, I don't know. Kim Adams, who does the famous booking boot camp, the video, is coming to Birmingham, so details are coming soon for that. So you'll definitely want to come to that. And then October is another Jewel School. So that is the calendar catch up. So y'all all have this, and if you didn't bring your calendars, make sure you go home and put all this stuff in your calendars when you get home. All right.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. We've got a special treat tonight. We're going to start doing our OPs, which if you're not sure what an OP is, it's an opportunity presentation. It's kind of what you would do if you were to share the business with somebody. It's just what you would say to them and how you would share it with them. It's nothing real formal, but we have a treat tonight because Buster, who's Michelle's husband, he's going to share with us a little bit about Premiere tonight. So you get to hear about Premiere from the guy's perspective. Right. So I think that's going to be really, really neat. Take notes. I'm sure he does it very differently than I do it. So I'm excited to hear from him too. So y'all welcome Buster.
All right. Hang on.
Wait. There you go. Nice.
Facebook in a number of seconds. Yeah, I'm Buster Leach, and so I'm with Michelle, and just want to share a little bit about Premiere, and a lot of this has been a 2-year journey for me. Picking up little bits and pieces along the way, but we're just really thankful to be a part of Premiere. I think Michelle mentioned it earlier, just because of what the company stands for. It's just grounded on biblical values. My favorite part of Rally this past year was just seeing all of the mission organizations and churches and missionaries and ministries they support, and just it's just something good that you can just really believe in and be a part of. And so we started Premiere 2 years ago yesterday. I know this because of Time Hop. Thank you, Time Hop. So yeah, it's 2 years yesterday, and so it's been a really good journey for us. And I've learned a lot along the way, and so it's maybe asking why jewelry. You can sell any number of things. There's a number of home-based businesses. Why jewelry? And so some of the things that Michelle has educated me on over the last couple of years is that, now I don't know if you knew this, but jewelry is in fact the #1 gift item in the U.S. And so I'm in sales for a living, and so part of what I have to do is to create or establish a buying motive. So you can kind of skip that step if you're selling jewelry, because I mean, let's face it, most women just kind of naturally like jewelry, and so it's not a real hard sell. And so that's kind of the vehicle that Andy and Joan chose to use to really just bring hope and really bring encouragement into women's homes and empower them. But you may be sitting here and you may know a ton about Premier, maybe more than me, but maybe you don't. And my biggest question as a husband, a little over 2 years ago was, what do y'all think it was?
How much money?
Close to how much is it going to cost? How do you make money? How do you make money? I want to know the bottom line. And so let me answer that 2 ways. First is you sell jewelry. That's rocket science, right? So you sell jewelry. And so Premier gives you 50% of the retail as the jewelry lady. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. That's the best. That's the answer. That's the best. All right? It really is incredible. And so you can sell, for those of you who aren't math majors, you can sell a $30 pair of earrings and get $15 for that. So if you have an average home show, $400 retail, you would gain $200 from that. And so you can see as it adds up, if you're having 4 or 5 shows a month, that can really be good income. So that's one, sell the jewelry. Number 2 is sponsor. And all it is really just bringing people into the Premier family, sharing with those you love about the opportunity that's in Premier. And then Premier actually pays you for that as well. So Michelle, come up here with me. Just because I feel better with you by my side there. So let's use this visual example here. So I don't have to pretend you are in Premier. So Michelle is in Premier. She's a jewelry lady. This is how she wants to sponsor. So she sponsors Danielle. It's the ultimate role reversal. Daughter sponsors mom. So Premier uses this language where if you sponsor someone, they really like to support the family and all. So Danielle would be Michelle's daughter. All right. So it is possible to actually have your biological mother be your daughter. I think that's happened a few times. So if Danielle were to go out and have an average jewelry show, $400 retail, she would gain $200 from that show because we've already established a 50% deal. But then, because Michelle encouraged her, trained her, brought her into business, Premier would directly send Michelle 10%, so $20 of the profit. So that's really generous as well. And so then let's say Danielle goes, maybe I've got someone who needs to hear about this business, and she sponsors Jenny. So Jenny, why don't you come up? And so Jenny would be Michelle's granddaughter. Many of you know that. And so let's say Jenny does the same thing, goes out and has a $400 jewelry show. She keeps her $200 profit, and then Premier directly, doesn't come out of Jenny's stash. Premier directly sends Danielle $20 and sends Grandma $20, which we're really excited about. And so then let's say Jenny gets wise and she sponsors Cheryl. So why don't you come up? And so I think you see where this is going. So Cheryl has a $400 jewelry show. She gets $200, but then Premier, being so generous, sends $20 to Jenny, $20 to Danielle, and $20 to great-grandmother Michelle right here. And so it's just a really generous company. And so that's what you may hear called like the 10-10-10. So you get 10%, 3 generations deep. Obviously, it couldn't go on forever because then Premier would go bankrupt and we'd have no reason to be here. But you go 10-10-10. And so that it's actually paid out directly from Premier on the 10th of every month. And so it's also that kind of steady monthly income as well. So thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. So that's how you make money, selling jewelry or sponsoring. And so how do you get started? Everybody comes into Premier the same way. You pay $395 to get started in Premier. There's really nothing to get started in a business. Let me tell you what that covers. 2 things. One, that covers supplies. And so you get a lot of basic supplies with that. Catalogs, order forms, I think they're called style guides. Some of this terminology is a little out of my comfort zone, but a lot of that paraphernalia, if you will. And then you also get just the backing and support of Premier. You get services. as well. And so so you get all kind of things with that. So just for instance, like Premier handles your postage on all your orders and insures your order. So when Michelle enters a jewelry show, Premier backs that. Premier sends that to the hostess, and they do a really good job of just ensuring professionalism in the business. And so if a hostess hosts a show and orders jewelry, Premier sends it to them in nice, cutesy little boxes. It has their name on it. It's very, very well done. It also covers Premier's Golden Guarantee. Many of you know about that, but that's basically Premier just standing behind their product. And so for the first 60 days, that someone has jewelry, Premier will replace that if it's a manufacturer's defect at absolutely no cost. Replace it for free, which is really unique. But then after that, even at 6-9 months down the road, they're having an issue, maybe there's a manufacturer's defect, Premier will replace that, they just ask for $5 plus tax. And so it's really reasonable. They're standing behind their product, and so that's part of what you're getting, much less just some of the admin stuff that you really don't think about. Premier sends reports for like each monthly accounting period. They do all kinds of stuff. You have the support of the company behind you, 800 numbers, all that kind of stuff. And so you're really a part of a big company, but you're able to do it kind of how you want it. And so that's how you get started. But now, obviously, you're here probably because you like jewelry. So how do you get jewelry? All right, you're going to need to, if you're going to need to sell jewelry, you're going to need to show jewelry. So you've got two different ways to do that. Two different ways to get jewelry as a new jeweler. One is, I believe it's called a jeweler's choice. Is that right? Jeweler's choice. And this is kind of more designed for people who maybe you've had a lot of jewelry shows, and you've got a pretty good base of Premier jewelry, and you just kind of want to add a little bit more to the collection to get started. And so you're able to shop, all of Premier's jewelry at a half off during this time period to get your business started. So that's called Jeweler's Choice. The option we chose to do when we started, it's called My Premier Boutique. And so that's another option. You basically think of it as like business in a box. It's like everything you need. And so it's $475, correct? And so basically that covers, you got like $1,200 worth of jewelry. So it's like 30-something pieces. And the cool thing is that they kind of look through as a company and go, what are the top sellers? What's really going to move? And one disadvantage, maybe if you picked out all your own jewelry, you might just pick just what you like. And so then if someone had a different style or maybe a different generation or something like that, they might like something different. So Premier sends you a really good assortment, a really wide variety, and kind of get you started off. You also get things that, again, just help with the professionalism of your show, things you may not think about, like the little neck boards to hang necklaces on, trays, sizers, you get a black tablecloth. And then you get this really cool boutique bag that I've toted to the car quite a few times to carry all your jewelry around in. So it's kind of like, that's what gets you started. That's your business in a bag right there. And so if you've signed up to become a jewelry lady, you've got your business in a bag, the next step for you at that point is to have what's called a training show. And so that's kind of what you get on your calendar with your Premier mom. And you get to be like basically two people that night. You kind of have a unique position. And so one is you get to be the jewelry lady. And so what I mean by that is at your training show, say it's a $500 show, it's a nice show, you get to keep the profits. So you would keep $250 at your training show. You also, your Premier mom's gonna work really hard to get bookings for you. You get to keep the bookings. So your training show, whatever jewelry shows booked from there, you keep those. But then you also get to be the hostess in some sense as well. And by that I mean you get to get a lot of free jewelry. And so let me tell you about this hostess plan. I was convinced that Premier was just up to something. It makes sense, but let me rewind about just a little over 2 years ago. Michelle one Saturday morning was invited to a jewelry show. Actually, Danielle had booked with one of our friends, and Michelle got an invite. And it was a time of our life, like we had a 3-month-old son. He was actually wanting to eat every day, and he went through a lot of diapers, and so it was kind of expensive. So we had medical bills. We had a car wreck. We had someone break into our house. They stole Michelle's jewelry. And it was just one of those times in my life. And so she said, I'm going to this jewelry show. And I was like, okay, baby, have fun, but don't buy anything. I'm the big, bad guy, and so she goes off to the jewelry shop. I'm sure Danielle's like, why are you that tall for that buy anything? She was looking at all the jewelry. Because her husband was at home saying, don't do it. And so she goes to the show, and she goes up with a smirk on her face and says, I didn't buy anything, but I booked a show, and I'm going to get it all for free. And I was like, okay, whatever, And so she has this show, and she earns like $250 or something in free jewelry. And I was just like, what? How can this be? Like, this is really crazy. And it works like this. So, and this is, in my opinion, the hostess plan is really what kind of makes Premier go. It's kind of like the engine that keeps it going, because it's just really smart. They really incentivize the hostesses. And so, like a hostess will get up to 8 items at 50% off when they host a party. They get 30% of whatever the retail is in free jewelry. So if they have a $500 show, they get to have $150 in free jewelry. And they get a chance to earn like 2 gift cards, 2 $50 gift cards. And so all that adds up, they may be walking with $300 of free jewelry, all for just having some friends over for the night and having a good time. And so it just makes a lot of sense that if you make it easy and desirable to host a party, that the business will keep going. So we've never had problems, thanks to Michelle's hard work and the hostess plan, of really keeping shows on the calendar. She does a really good job with that. So, I go from here. Quick start.
Yeah, quick start.
Okay. And so Premier does a lot of incentives, and so a lot of recognition. They're really good at that. And one of the best ones is something called Quick Start. And so just kind of get you out of the gates with your business. And so there's Quick Start 6, 9, and 12. And so 6 basically means, as a new jeweler, it starts the day after your training show. You are going to host 6 parties in the first 45 days. All right, and it's very doable. And so if you do that, not only will you keep all the profit, not only will you get the bookings, and not only get your business off the ground, but Premier will also give you a $200 jewelry credit. You get $200 in free jewelry, and then you get like a charm for a bracelet, and you get recognized at rallies and stuff like that. So that's Quick Start 6. Then if you do 3 more shows in the next 15 days, Quick Start 9, you get $100 in free jewelry, and then you get recognized for that. And then if you get Quick Start 12, it's 12 shows in the first 90 days, very doable. Then you would get another $100 in free jewelry. And actually, did you just mention this about the Quick Start Rewards? Okay, we were just at the rally, I guess last weekend, and they're doing this new thing. I wish I would have done this when we started. But if you hit Quick Start 6, on top of the free jewelry, Premier will give you $100 cash. If you hit Quick Start 9, they'll give you another $100 cash. And if you hit Quick Start 12, they'll give you another $100 cash. And that's for people who sign up and have their training show in February. Is it January or February? And so it's really a really incredible incentive. And so that's a little bit about Premier. I would just say this, I wouldn't let fear be the deciding factor of whether or not you choose to do this business, because it has been a great opportunity for us. We've met a lot of cool folks. We wouldn't have known that we lived 3 doors down from Dave and Danielle had not Michelle gone to that jewelry show. And so that's been a really cool relationship, and countless others. And it's really just helped us meet financial needs. I mean, heck, our refrigerator went out this past weekend, and so Premier it has really stepped in the gap, helped us in a lot of ways. And so, thus concludes my version of the opportunity presentation.
Did you do a good job?
Yeah.
Josh is sitting here as a brand new jewelry husband, and so now he gets to hear the marketing presentation. So I'm excited that you're here, got to hear that. It's so awesome. Good thing we had you planned, Buster. Okay, well, the next person on the schedule is kind of one of my favorite girls. Her name's Jenny Nicholas. So come on up, Jenny. And did you know that Jenny became a builder today? Like an hour ago, she signed up her 4th jeweler and became a builder, which is the first level of leadership in Premier, and I'm so proud of her. And she's going to just share with you her premiere testimony, and she's such an encouragement to me. I know she's going to encourage y'all. So welcome,
Okay,
Jenny.
all right. I did have to bring my phone. I couldn't print it out because we're moving tomorrow to Orlando, so I had no way to print it out. But if you had asked me a year ago if I was going to be doing premiere, I would have laughed in your face, literally in your face. I really had no desire to do premiere. I was the Dollar Jewelry Store queen. I would go to the Dollar Jewelry store and I would buy all this jewelry and it would break before I even wore it. And my husband would just laugh at me and say, Jenny, what do you expect? You paid $1 for it, you know? And I wore some pearls, but that was about it. I had only really heard about premiere. I had a friend at our church in Florida, and she said, hey, you should be a jewelry lady. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I looked at the catalog, and I looked at the prices, and I was like, nope, not happening, no way, not for me. I thought it was kind of old-fashioned at that time and expensive. And, you know, even then the Lord was just putting these seeds in my life. And, you know, that was really my only experience. But before premiere, I had been working 4 jobs and being a mom to a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old little girl. And so, you know, I really kind of didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. I wanted to be able to be home with my girls more. And so, you know, the Lord really just kind of started working. My husband and I had been in full-time ministry in Florida, and he was a youth pastor, and after we had a baby, we moved back to Birmingham. I wanted to be by my mom, and I just kind of started doing all these jobs and doing all this stuff. And so I started working at the ER at Children's, and I met Dave. And where is he? Right there. And he was like always bragging about his wife, how she was like some jewelry rock star, and I was like, whatever. Like, I mean, he was always talking about it, and I was like, okay, whatever. And so I ended up inviting her and him to our barbecue and baby small group, and we just hit it off, and we just became great friends. And I really did not have premiere on the radar at all. And then another one of my friends signed up for premiere, Abby. And I'm like, really? What is up with this jewelry? And so she told me I could get free jewelry if I had a show. And we all know that I am cheap. So I said, come on, bring it on. And so I told her I would have a show. And little did I know that like my whole life would change. A couple weeks later, Dave and Danielle asked us over for lunch. And I didn't think anything of it. We were just friends going to hang out. And they showed me this video of Rally. And I mean, there was all these people there. They all had these white jackets on. And then they told me that someone got saved at Rally, and they baptized them in the hotel pool. Come on, Jesus. If that is not the Lord, I really don't know what is. And I thought, and I knew, I tell my daughters in premiere this all the time. If you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got. And I knew I needed something different. And so premiere, although I really wasn't looking for it, they told me that, and I saw that, and I'm like, well, I'd already looked into a couple other different businesses, because, you know, I was like, I got to do something, but they were so expensive to get into, and you couldn't really make any real money. So finally, the next day, Danielle asked me to one of her mystery hostess shows, and I went. And I'm telling you, I had like a Holy Spirit moment in the middle of her living room. She was over there talking about how she was a jewelry lady, and I was like, I'm still not convinced about this whole jewelry lady word thing, but the Holy Spirit showed up. I saw her, and she pulled women up, and she put this jewelry on them, and their whole face lit up. They just felt beautiful, they felt blessed, and it was all because of jewelry, but it really had nothing to do with jewelry at all. It was really the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and he said, Jenny, this is for you. I always thought I would speak in a women's life, but I thought it was just because I was going to be a pastor's wife. But no, the Lord had more. He had premiere for me. And because of premiere, we were able to pay for all of our Christmas. I mean, I could just go on and on about how premiere has blessed me. I've never had confidence like I've ever had before, and he continues to pull people in our life. But that's not the end of the story, because tonight I feel like the Lord has something for you. You may be in 3 different places in your life. So if you're a note taker, pull these out, because we're going to go real quick, okay? And if you don't take notes anyways, okay? So you may, like me, say that you are busy, okay? We are all busy. There's soccer games, there's all this stuff that we have to go to. So you think in your mind, I can't do premiere. I'm too busy. And, you know, you, like me, know that your husband's going to want dinner on the table. He's going to want dessert too, ladies. Come on now. And none of us, you know, there's just only so much time in the day, okay? But I think that if you feel like you're busy, the Lord has called you blessed. okay? Because if you're busy, that's that many more chances that you can share Premier with people. You can go to a soccer game and you can tell someone about the hope that Premier has. You can change lives, but you're going to have to open up your mouth and you're going to have to share. So use every single opportunity. And the second thing you need to do is get calendar control. You can't make it if you're busy. You're going to have to use your calendar. You're going to have to put dates on and know when you can have jewelry shows because you can do it. Now, secondly, you might be in another category. And that one's a little bit more challenging, okay? You might be in the beat up category. You came tonight and you thought, you know what, I still don't feel like I can do it. I don't like to talk to people. I don't like to ask people. I'm really not good at this, but I have a financial need. Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, that is a lie from the devil, and he has more for you. You are blessed, and you have the ability to do it. You sat up here and you saw all these people come up for different awards, and you thought, oh, I'm never going to be like that. That's a lie that Satan has told you, and you need to take that thought captive, and you need to say, no, I'm not going to believe it. And how you do that is, number one, you be positive. You get around positive people, okay? Come to training. Get a running buddy. That's someone either in your sideline or downline or whoever, upline, that can just encourage you, okay? And second of all, you need to get in the Word. You need to find a scripture that you can stand on, and you need to say it every day. Before you go into that jewelry show, you need to say it. Before you make that call, you need to say it. Because if you feel like you're beat up, the Lord has called you beautiful. Every single day I tell my girls, what are you? And they say, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, and I'm a daughter of the King. Tonight, you need to know that. Come on, let's all say it together. I'm smart, I'm beautiful, and I'm a daughter of the King. And the third and final thing is, you might feel broke down. You know, in Alabama we say, you broke down, okay? You might be broke down tonight. You might say, you know what? I don't have one single show on my calendar. This Premier thing, it isn't going to work. It's just not going to work for me. Once again, that's a lie. God called you to do this, and the only way you can share Premier is if you're having shows. So tonight, if you feel broke down, I'm going to tell you there is hope. Maybe you're not broke down. You think, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. So you're in your Premier business, and you think, I'm okay. I have 1 to 2 shows a month. You know, I'm just cruising along. I'm okay. It ain't broke. You know, it ain't broke. Don't fix it. Well, I'm here to tell you, the Lord has more for you. He wants your Premier business to thrive. He does. Maybe you can't handle more than 2 shows, but you can share and you can sponsor. So tonight, if you feel like you're broken down, you need to know that the Lord has called you to be brought back, okay? The Lord's bringing you back. Maybe not bringing sexy back, but he's bringing you back, okay? And if you don't have any shows, here's a couple, 3 little tips, okay? The first one is real simple, and we're going to be real quick because I know we're running out of time. But the first one is stop asking the same people. Seriously. You keep going back to the same people and thinking that they're going to give you something different. Hello, insanity. You always do what you've always done. You always get what you've always got, okay? You're going to have to stop asking the same people. Secondly, you're going to have to ask more people, okay? The more you talk, the more you share, eventually someone's going to say that they're going to agree. Because how many of you in here feel like Premier has hope? Does anyone in here believe that? Yes. Yes. So you have to share more. If you're not sharing, you're not doing jewelry shows, you're not bringing that hope. Third and lastly, one last thing, get help, okay? There is training. There are 1,000 YouTube videos. There are tons of ways to get help. That's why training is so important. You need to get here. You need to get help, and you need to get around people that are going to lift you up. But y'all, at the end of the day, there's really only one thing that can be said. I may have had a little bit of success in Premier, but it had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with the Holy Spirit. Even now, I just get chills thinking about it because I know that the Holy Spirit is in this. So if you try to do it on your own, and if you sit there and you compare yourself, comparison is the thief of joy, y'all. As women, we do that all the time and compare ourselves. You've got to stop doing that, and you've got to allow the Holy Spirit to work and to move in your life because he has huge plans for you, and I totally believe it. But tonight, you're going to have to surrender. You're going to have to say, I can't do it on my own. Lord, you're going to have to step in because that's the only way I've made it. And I truly believe tonight that's what he has for y'all.
And y'all think that I was still home right now? That was so good. bottoms don't get tired from sitting in the same place for 2 hours, we're going to just play a quick little game to get y'all mingling and knowing a couple of people. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do, and then I'm going to help you get there, all right? So listen up. I'm eventually going to get you into some groups, and I'm going to put you in 4 groups. And I want a group up here, and a group over here, a group behind these chairs to my right, and a group behind the chairs to my left, okay? Once you get in your group, I'm going to hand you a set of cards. And I want you to pass the cards around so every single person has a card. And then you're just going to quickly answer them to your group. And so they're kind of silly cards, they're silly questions. And so it'll just be kind of fun to grab a little bit of your personality and hear a little bit about yourself to your group. It should take all of 5 minutes, okay? And then we'll come, as soon as you've answered all of the questions in your group, you can just mingle your way back to your seat, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so I want everybody to stand up. And I want you to find one friend and hold their hand. Okay, now the 2 of you find another set of 2 and hold their hands. We've got our hands.
Get over there. We're just our own group.
Okay. Now I would like for 2 of my 4s to join together and make a group of 8 and come and get to a board.
Just in case we have like a really good
Group. All right. This group come back here with that row. And then half of you guys go that way, and half of you guys go that way. It didn't work perfectly.
Oh, man.
You guys come this way, you two. Nope, and you guys go that way. Perfect. You can choose. You can choose. Which one? Go. Perfect.
Oh, wait.
You don't even get it. Yeah, they're dropping. We had 5.
Was Shannon on there?
She's probably still on there trying to. She would tell me. Yeah, but see, Ustream got really pricey. They decided that you can only comment on chat or pro. For me, it's not worth it. I post the video and I don't know what y'all's plan is, but I wouldn't.
Maybe that's the second item.
I'll probably record all of maybe Shannon will be Skype.
Yeah, I think it would work because they have Wi-Fi here. It's just Michelle's trying to like Skype with her phone going and she can't even remember the password. Just Skype or FaceTime.
She had her own group over me, but they were going to watch it and then do the video. Yeah, thumbs up.
I guess always. On the same YouTube channel, then people can watch it 10 minutes.
That I would just design and go to Canada. No, that I just go on out and see
Oh, sorry. It's a good point. I should have played music. Fail.
Okay, I'll be on time for something. Hey, I'm Sam. You did awesome.
Oh, thanks. Hey, I'm Buster.
Hey.
Hey, Josh. I'm Buster. Hey, good to meet you, man. Chill, man. Usually a couple guys. I wasn't late to come in.
What? How'd you do?
Did you turn it down?
Yeah, this is one of my hosts. She's like,
Are you from around here?
I'm from the center.
Okay.
Yeah, the center. Her
I'm from Pennsylvania originally.
So maybe it's very awesome.
Very cool.
It will be. Yes, like the day.
Is that the wedding day or?
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Is that a Valentine's?
No, it's I'm doing last. On that
Danielle's getting angry.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Find your seats.
You have a question?
This is live recording.
What does the name need to be?
Whatever you want to call it. Sam Jewelry. Ours is the name of our corporation.
Okay, if you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. How fun was that? Was that such a fun game? Yes. Did you hear some fun facts from different people? Yes, about where you would travel, or I love the question that if you were sitting next to Jesus on a bus, what would you ask him? That's a great question. Good. I just wanted to get y'all out of your seats and chit-chatting a little bit. But what we have for you now is fashion. Are y'all excited about the new spring line? Yeah. Everybody had the opportunity to see the new spring line on the back table. How awesome that we have it here. And let me just say, Michelle, will you stand up for me? This is Michelle. Everybody, y'all say hey to Michelle. Yeah. Michelle's sweet husband pre-ordered the entire spring line as a gift for her.
So he used to buy me the fine jewelry, and so that's like.
So instead of, diamond earrings for Christmas, she got the spring line. I think that's better. So Cheryl has prepared for us. She's going to kind of give you some tips from Rally and from the new spring line. So you may want to get out your pens and papers, especially if you haven't ordered your jewelry yet. You're really going to want to hear what Cheryl has to say. So y'all welcome Cheryl.
So I know a lot of you guys went to Rally. Yes. Have people who's ordered their spring line? Okay, so who's still got to? Good. All right, so maybe this will help kind of make some decisions. There's a video out there that Nicole Richardson did that is incredible. So some of this I'm just going to kind of recap it, but it is kind of fun to see it again. So that way you guys will get to kind of it'll jar your memory again. So I'm going to get a couple. Jeannie, will you be a volunteer? Because I've already been checking you guys out. Y'all already have your stuff. First off, I've got on Sunset. Do you not love this one? I actually had my catalog at work just sitting on my desk, and I had like 3 girls just walk by and say, "Oh my gosh, I love that one." I'm like, "Oh no." So what I would encourage is, you see some of us already with some of the spring jewelry on, and it's not even spring. How cool is that? So go ahead and get your spring jewelry. Don't wait, because I'm thinking if we wear it, spring will come. So today, actually, I had the quick change watch, which is very cool. I actually had it turned on the other way. And so everybody was like, oh, that's so cool. So I was doing like the little magic trick. So have you guys seen that? Did y'all see this at Rally? So it's brown on one side and it's green on the other. But what's so cool is you can wear it green on one side. Isn't that cool? So spring is here. So it is time to wear that. So Jenny actually has on the necklace Acapulco. Did I say that? Did I say that right? Okay. So Acapulco is this beautiful big statement necklace. She's wearing it actually short. And then she has the necklace on that's called Cozumel. So it comes with this. It's kind of like Avery. Who did I see has Avery on tonight? Yes. Yeah. So it's just like that, but kind of a silver version of it. So I love that. You can wear it. It's got the toggle switch, so you can wear it short or long. So Jenny had that actually. Oh, you're so good. I wasn't going to have you take it off because I saw Michelle actually having one too. All right, so Jenny, you can actually wear it just long. Take a couple of strands out. Love that. You can actually take this and just twist it, which looks really pretty. You could totally add the Cozumel enhancer back on it. And then I love, yeah. So this is really cool. This is on the video. So it's kind of one of those cool moments where you're like, oh. So you actually can take 3 strands and you can braid this. And then once it starts getting a little tight, then you just flip it through. There. And then you've got really a very classy look with it braided. Isn't that pretty? Love that. There's so many things you can do with this. So actually I'm going to let you keep yours braided.
And did y'all know that's on the raffle table?
I hope y'all put some. Is it too late to go buy some more tickets?
Not too late.
Oh.
Not too late.
Okay, so I'm going to borrow your Cozumel, Jenny, your enhancer. So we can take it actually on the longest strand and then just take this and twist it. Isn't that pretty? Love those. Those 2 pieces are so pretty. Thank you. All right, and then let's see. Another one of my favorite one is called Sugar Rush. So does anybody have this one on? I couldn't tell. Will you be my model? I love it. It's, do you? Yes. It's Rashonda, is that right? It is. Okay. So Michelle already had it on with a clip it, so perfect. Thank you, Michelle. Because I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to put it. Here, lift your hair up. So Sugar Rush has such cute colors. So cute for spring. So just lays so pretty. It's got the hammered metal and then this little glass strand that actually comes off. So I'm going to slip this off. Actually, before I take it off, I'll show you guys. It's just like all our others. You can take one strand and wear it long. That looks really pretty. And then, now I can see this better. The other thing I would encourage all of us is, especially with the new spring line coming out, is go ahead and start looking at things that you could do with our pieces that we already have. Because some of you guys are going to have shows where you've got customers that are coming back to another party, or somebody's been a customer and they book, so they got something. So be thinking about what they already have that you could add to with the spring line. So Melissa, will you come up here? So how pretty is this? Like you could just wear this by itself, but then you could even put it with roundabout. Got my reading glasses. And then just lay that with that. Isn't that cute? Just a cute little piece. And then this part. Okay. And then this piece with the cute little glass beads, it can be by itself as well. Would look cute with roundabout. And then Nicole added with that on the video.
Natalie.
Huh?
Natalie Richardson.
I said Nicole.
It's okay.
She added the, sorry Natalie, wait, there was triple. Opening night. So let's see. Let me actually take this cute little chain off. I'm not sure maybe getting the chain off. Just a little bit over your head. Okay. I know. There we go. Yes. Okay, there. Then that could be just a cute little simple chain. You could use that with your enhancer. So then this, actually, these turn out really cute. You can actually twist these as well. So even though they're like layered and you've got one that's longer, you can just kind of keep twisting them. And then eventually they break like that. So cute. So with the clip okay. So for ladies that just want something very simple, okay, lift your hair up. And you've got the cute little layered 3 colors, which these are really cool for spring. I mean, it's amazing. Premier is like right on with all the colors that have come out. The aquamarine and the scuba blue and the tangerine. So, and these pastels are really big as well. So if you pair this with opening night, isn't that cute? That really just makes it just shine there. I love that. That just screams spring. Thank you. All right, thank you. Yes. All right, I got one last one. Who wants to be a volunteer? She's like,
You can do it, Sam.
That's what happens when you get in my groove. I got it. So this is called Gold Mine. This one's really cute, and I love this. I think this is going to be a big seller because so many of our ladies are like, even if you tell them it's okay to mix your metals, they're like, I don't believe you. Even if you're wearing mixed metals and they promise you that you look okay, they're still like, I'm not wearing gold and silver. This is our ticket to convince them. So this is so cute. Oh my gosh, Michelle, I feel so bad. Your tags are just flying everywhere.
It's totally fine.
I'll totally put them all back together.
No, some of them aren't even on in the tray. So
I feel like this is what my jewelry show looks like. I'm just throwing jewelry everywhere. Okay. Oh, that looks so pretty with that. Does that look like pretty with Avery?
Yeah.
I just stumbled on a combo. For real. Okay. So I was thinking, like, what else do we have in our jewelry? I mean, we have tons of stuff. We can add so many combos. But look how pretty this looks. Good copper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It looks so pretty with her skin tone.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
That's because you're beautiful.
So what a great way to just start adding to the pieces that we already have. Start looking. Don't think of it as a separate, oh, yeah, there's the spring line. Go ahead and start trying to think about, look what you already have and start putting those pieces together. Gold mine's cool because one of these strands actually comes off, so then you've got 2 strands, you can make it long. We do our same thing, so we always do. Very cool. All right, thank you very much. I'll let this slip off. That's it.
Yay!
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, how many of you have harmony? And hardly any of y'all have the necklace Harmony? Oh my goodness. It is like, okay. Harmony is one of my best sellers. If you don't have Harmony, you need to get it. This is not Harmony right here. Harmony is a silver necklace that has a short strand and a long strand, and you can take the long strand off or the short strand off. You know what I'm talking about? Go home in your book and look up Harmony. It's $54, and people buy it like hotcakes. Okay? So if you want to up your retail, that is a great piece for that. But this necklace, I don't know what it's called. Do you know what it's called?
Under the Sea.
Under the Sea. I have paired Under the Sea in my tray with Harmony, and it looks fabulous together. And I really think that you can convince people that they need both to layer. And that will really up your retail as well. So I would highly encourage you to go look up Harmony when you get home and add Under the Sea to your list as well. They will go great together, and they'll be great for upping your retail. Okay? You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Dave, can you look in my purse for the verse of the year? Because I brought it with me, and now I don't have it with me. So I think it might be maybe using itself as a bookmark in that By Chance or By Design book that might be back there. You can just bring me that book too if you want to. Do you see it?
Your book's not in.
Okay, look in the green bag that's over there too. Don't you love how prepared? Thankfully I have a hubby in the back who can help me out. Okay, well while he's looking for that, the theme this year for Premier is By Design. And so they told us that at Regional Rally that they were doing a By Design theme this year. And I think that's so appropriate for where we're moving and celebrating 30 years, that Premier is By Design. And so in your kit, you get this great book called By Chance or By Design. How many of you have read this book? Good, about 4 of you. That's really awesome. If you are a reader or you're not a reader, I would encourage you to put this on your reading list for 2015. You don't have to read it tomorrow, but sometime within the year, pick it up and read it. Premier doesn't send it to you so it will collect dust on your bookshelf. They send it to you so that you will read it, and it's a really fabulous book. And it really talks about why Premier was built. It gives you just a little bit of life about Andy and Joan, and how the Lord is weaved all throughout it. And it'll give you a great understanding for Premier. And I think it gives you even more purpose for why you are particularly in Premier. So I would really encourage you to read that. But I think it's very timely that they would choose the theme By Design, being that they send us a book when we sign up called By Chance or By Design, right? And so we are going to kind of talk tonight a little bit about the design that God has for us in Premier. Okay, and if you've seen the back table back there, you've seen lots of arts and crafts. And so we're going to kind of have a little bit of an art project tonight, and we're going to make a vision board. But before we do that, I want to kind of just give you a little bit, something that I felt like the Lord just said I needed to share with you guys tonight. And so we're going to be dreaming by design. So not only are we doing a vision board, but I want you to dream. And did you know that dreaming is actually biblical? That the Lord also was a dreamer. And so I want to take you back to Genesis 1. Now, I feel like I'm becoming all pastoral on you in this moment. I'm sure you didn't bring your Bibles to training, and I didn't ask for you to, so you'll just have to hang with me. But I'm sure everyone knows Genesis, right? Yeah. Okay, so in Genesis 1:2, it says that the earth was formless and empty, and that darkness was over the surface of the deep, and that the Spirit of the Lord was hovering over the waters. And so right there, it's basically saying, in the beginning, before God created, he first dreamed. He hovered over the emptiness of the earth and the empty waters and the darkness. And he dreamed of, what could this be? What should I create and put here so there will be life? And so we're going to kind of think about our dreams for the next 6 months. That's what I want your vision board to be about, is really the next 6 months. And I want to use the Lord's creation to kind of help us and spur us on in our dreaming. So what was the first thing that God created? God said, let there be light. Good. This is not a test. Okay? So in order for us to dream by design this year, we first have to get some perspective. And we have to let the Lord shine his light on our calendars, on our businesses, on our personal lives, on our priorities. And we really need to ask the Lord what His will, what is His dream for our Premier business this year. And so Premier, every year, they come up with a verse of the year. And this year it says, it's Ephesians 2:10, and it says, "For we are God's masterpiece, and that He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so that we can do the good things that He has planned for us long ago." And I don't know, how many of you have this little card? Okay, it came in our Christmas card in Premier, so if you were not a jeweler before Christmas, did this come in your kit? I'm curious. Okay, well, I'm going to ask the home office what they would do to send it to new jewelers, because I just love, I have this on my dining room table, and I just love that Premier pulls up a verse to cover themselves for the whole year. And so what I would love for us to do today is to ask the Lord for perspective and ask Him to shine light onto our personal businesses. And so I'm going to encourage you today to pick a verse that would cover your calendar, that would cover your Premier business, that would cover your personal life for the next year or for the next 6 months. I know for us, I kind of feel like our year is over in June because we're having a new baby and we're moving, and I feel like I have to start over again. I feel like my year is over and I have to restart it. And so for me, I know I'm just wanting to focus on the last 6 months that I have here in Birmingham. But for you, maybe you do want to look at your whole year and just pick a verse for the whole year. But ask the Lord to shine light upon your business and to give you a verse that you could stand on and that would take you through the next 6 months or a year. Okay. The second thing that the Lord did was He separated the light from the dark, and He separated the water from the land from the sky, and He started setting boundaries in His world. And so we have to do that as well. I meant to bring this book, but I've got this great book called The Best Yes. How many of you have heard of that book? Okay, a couple of you. It's a really pretty chalkboard cover. And it's called The Best Yes, and the author is, somebody help me out.
Lisa Terkeurst.
Lisa Terkeurst, yes. It's a phenomenal book. It really changed my life because I'm all about saying yes to everything. And I have a feeling that many of you may be the same way. Can any of you relate to that? Yes, and so the Lord set boundaries when He created earth. And so we have to set boundaries in our life as well. We can't just say yes to everything. We have to say yes to the best thing. So I want you to ask yourself, what would the Lord have you focus on in the next 6 months or in the next year? Where is the Lord leading you? What do you need to stop doing so that He can come in and fulfill your dreams? Or what do you need to start doing so that He can come in and fulfill your dreams and put them into action? So that's just something I would love for you to think about. Okay, number 3, then the third day, God created the plants and the vegetation, seeds, and He started to make things grow. And so we have to decide what are the things that we want to grow in our personal lives. If we grow every idea that we have, we will be living in a jungle, right? And as women, we have lots of ideas that just pop around in our heads all the time. And if we let every idea just take us down rabbit trails, well, we'll be chasing rabbits and we'll be living in a jungle. And that won't be any fun for anybody that's living in our house with us, right? So we've got to decide what to grow, because when things grow, they require care and maintenance and nurturing, right? Every spring I ask my husband if I can have ferns, and every spring I kill them because I decide I'm going to grow them, but then I don't do anything to actually care for them. Is that the truth, honey?
True.
Can I get ferns in a couple months?
Fake ones. They look the same.
Exactly. So we've got to give it attention, right? Otherwise it will surely die. So we can't just say, I'm going to be a designer this year, and I'm going to get all levels of the crown jewel this year, and I'm going to do 7 OPs a month and 10 shows a month, and I'm going to be the homeschool mom at school with my kids. I'm going to go on every committee at church. I'm going to make a home-cooked meal every night and dessert. You can't do it, right? Like, we can't do it. Tonight we had to order pizza because I said, honey, on training night, dinner ain't happening. And so that's what we did 30 minutes before we left the house, was order a pizza. So we've got to be intentional and purposeful in deciding what to grow. We can't grow everything. We can only grow certain things. So here are some things that I want you to ask yourself. What relationships do I want to grow this year? What are some current relationships that I have already that I want to grow further this year? What are some new relationships that I want to develop this year? What would help me to develop in that. What are some new skills that I want to learn this year? Some things that might help me in my Premier business or things that might help me in my personal life? And how am I going to make my business grow? So how am I going to nurture it? And what am I going to do to take care of that? Because Premier really isn't about the jewelry. Even though we love the jewelry and it's pretty and it's the vehicle that gets us into women's homes and lights up women's faces, but really it's about serving and expanding the kingdom. And that's what it's all about. It's about being intentional and specific with what the Lord would have us grow. Okay, so on the fourth day then, what did the Lord create? Anybody know? Not the animals yet. He created the sun and the stars and the moon. So why did he do this? He created time, he created years and days, and he could have let all of our time run together, but he didn't. And he decided that he would orient our time. What would our life look like if we had no time to orient us, right? Like we wouldn't know when to eat, we wouldn't know when to sleep, we wouldn't know when to do anything if we had no time. So thank you, Lord, that you gave us time. So not only do we have to be intentional with what to grow, right, like we just talked about, but we have got to be intentional to schedule what we're going to do on our calendars, right? We can't just say we're going to grow all of these things and never actually orient it into time. And so I want you to ask yourself, what do you want to see happen in the next 3 months? When do you want to do jewelry shows? Put them on your calendar. When do you want to share the business with people? Put it on your calendar. Are you going to be coming to training every month? Put it on your calendar. Decide when you're going to do something and then just schedule it in. God gave us time so that we could do that, okay? And that goes for everything. That goes for our small groups, and that goes for birthdays in our family. I have forgotten my mother-in-law's birthday 2 times in a year, and my sister-in-law. So apparently I need to schedule birthdays on my calendar, or I will never grow those relationships with people if they feel like I forget them every year. So we've got to schedule time, and we've got to put it on our calendar in advance. That's why we gave you a calendar for the whole year of trainings and fun to shares and new jewelry trainings and opportunities for Girls Night. So you can put them on your calendar so you can intentionally grow those relationships. Okay, then what happened on the 5th day? Then he created the animals, right? So he created things that had life. He finally put life on the earth. And what did he tell them? He told them to be fruitful and to multiply, to go and fill the earth and be life-giving. And so a lot of times in our Premier businesses, we can be smooth sailing and things can be going really great and we can be full of life, but then other times we get discouraged and we get cancellations and we get things that happen to us that, somebody says they're going to sign up and then we never hear from them again. And, and so there are going to be hard times in Premier. But the Lord has asked us to focus on what is life-giving. And he's also asked for us to be life-giving. And so what are some things that we can do in the next 6 months or in the next year that would be life-giving to other people? I feel like the Lord has put people in Premier so that we can bless them. And we can serve them, and we can encourage them, and we can bring hope to them. So it's really our job to always be life-giving to everybody that we come in contact with. And at Regional Rally in Atlanta, Rick Herman, he said something that I think will just stick with me forever. He said, what are you doing today that is making a difference in the life of those that you're coming into contact with? And that is just being life-giving in all that we do. And so let's be life-giving and press on. Okay, then what did he create? After all the animals, he created us. Yes, he created humans. And as you paint the picture of creation, you can really see that all of the steps that he took before he created us were really all just leading up to us. He created us, and then what did he tell us to do? To take care of it, right? Yeah. So he asked us to take care of it. So, and why did God create us? He created us because he wanted relationship with us. So he could have just stopped after all of the animals, and I bet it looked so beautiful, everything that he had done, but he wanted relationship with somebody. And so he created us so he could have relationship with us. And he still seeks relationship with us, and he wants us to be in relationship with others. And thank goodness for Premier, because we get to be in so many great relationships because of this amazing opportunity. Adam and Eve were also the first leaders of our world because God asked them to take care of everything that he created. He entrusted the entire world to them. And so what has been entrusted to you? Have jewelers been entrusted into your downline? Have friends been entrusted to you by your sideline? Have moms and grandmas and great-grandmas been entrusted to you as your upline? He's entrusted relationships with us. And so how can we be intentional in 2015 to really pursue those relationships that the Lord has entrusted to us and take good care of them? Okay, then on the seventh day, the Lord rested. But what he also did, and something that I think Scripture fails to mention, actually, I was listening to somebody talk about rest earlier this week, and they talked about rest as celebrating. And I don't think I've ever heard of rest as celebrating. But do you think that the Lord celebrated all that he did? Yeah, do you think he said, this is really awesome, this is good? It even says in the Bible. And the Lord said that this is good. And so he celebrated all the creation that he made. And so I think for us, we've got to celebrate our victories. And so if we put on a vision board, we want to sponsor 2 people in the next 6 months, well, okay, that's something we want to grow. We've got to have a plan for how we're going to grow it. We've got to be intentional with the relationships. And then when we do, we've got to take time to celebrate that. And I think so often we say, okay, what's the next step? Where am I going next? I did 2, now I want to get to 4. Now I'm at 4, now I want to get to 7. And so we're always looking for the next best thing. But I think the Lord calls us to be intentional and to stop and rest and to celebrate the victories. Because I don't think we ever reach the top. There's always more for us to do that the Lord has for us. And I think it's a moment for us to thank the Lord for the blessings that he's given us. And not just to keep pushing through, but to really take time to stop and rest and celebrate all that the Lord has done in our lives. So just a quick recap, all of the things that we talked about. First, the Lord created light, and we're going to get some perspective and ask the Lord to shine some light onto our businesses just by using his word and picking out a Bible verse. And we need to set some boundaries in our lives and in our businesses and say yes to the best things the Lord has for us. We need to decide what to grow in our businesses, and then we have to be intentional to schedule how we're going to do that on our calendars. Stick with things that are life-giving and be a life-giving person. Remember that it all comes back to the relationships that God has oriented us and entrusted to us, and rest and celebrate in all that the Lord has done. So we're going to make some vision boards. I hope that that was a little encouragement to you as you think about what the Lord has for you in 2015. Michelle and I have put our vision boards back there that we did earlier this past year, so you can see some examples. Dave, will you just grab one real fast? Perfect. So we're going to take just about 20 minutes, and I'm going to actually ask you to get out of your seat. We have got vision boards in the back for every single person. I love Michelle. Isn't Michelle? Can you tell Michelle's an artist? So stinking cute. It's going to be hard for her to top it this year.
We got it. We'll do it.
Buster's going to do it. So if you want to see an example, feel free to look at mine or Michelle's. There's a lot of things back here that you can cut from magazines or paper or do or write or whatever would be the best for you. I've actually got some planning sheets for you that'll help you. And on the sheet it says my personal verse for the next 6 months or a year. So you may not know that tonight before you go home, but take some time to think about that. What would be a verse that the Lord would have for you in your Premier business this year. Why do you do Premier? That's something that I think that we should all know. Why are we in this business? And how can we bless and encourage people? What are your dreams in Premier? Here, y'all just take them and pass them around. I didn't take them for me. Where do you see yourself in a couple years from now, and how can Premier be the vehicle to get you there? Do you have financial needs, and can Premier meet those? It absolutely can. What kind of plan are you going to have for that? What are your Premier goals? Would you like to sponsor? How many home shows would you like to have per month? And then at the bottom, it just asks, how will you do these things? When are you going to do these things? So taking what you've decided to grow and actually putting it into action. Okay? And so you can work together as groups and a team, sit on the floor, We are going to play some music and just let you be creative and have fun. Grab some supplies in the back. And we will come back together as a group about 5 minutes before training is over, just to maybe share out a couple of your vision boards. You probably won't be done. And then we'll pray, and then you're welcome to stay afterwards and work on it some more. Oh, and please, if you want to purchase some more raffle tickets,
I'll be sitting at the table if you want to. Dave
will sit up at the table, and you can go see him if you want to purchase more tickets. There is some cool stuff up there. I got to go buy some tickets, and then my husband probably won't let me. But I'm going to, because I really like what's up there, so I might need it. Okay, all right, well, y'all feel free to get up, grab some supplies, and get to work. I don't, so you may have to check.
In your ocean, I'm ankle deep. I feel the waves crashing on my feet. It's like I know where I need to be, but I can't figure out, I can't figure out just how much air I will need to breathe when your tide rushes over me. There's only one way to figure out, but will you let me drown? Yeah, will you let me drown? And hey now, this is my desire, consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm married, 'cause I am down on my knees and waiting for something beautiful. Something beautiful. And the water is rising quick, and for years I was scared of it. We can't be sure when it will subside, so I won't leave your side. No, I can't leave your side. Hey now, this is my desire, consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm married, 'cause I am down on my knees and waiting for something beautiful. Something beautiful. Something beautiful. In a daydream, I couldn't live like this. I wouldn't stop until I found something beautiful. But when I wake up, and all I want I have, you know it's still not what I need. Something beautiful. Hey now, this is my desire, consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me.